Uh, so whenever if they send me an email or anything, I always I pretty much drop everything and do whatever they need right away. Um, but other than that, I basically am just studying all day,
Cool. So,
building websites, doing shit like that.
okay, pretty simple.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out scheduling. It's just really fucking hard.
it is. It's very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you have a lot of things that you have to do. Just makes life difficult. There's only so many hours in a week.
Yeah, and I mean, I try to make sure I try to force myself to study an hour, study poker like an hour every day, but that's been difficult this week. I've been doing good so far this month though. I've probably studied poker like close to 30 hours this month, which is decent, I guess. But
Yeah, that's pretty decent. You're in like the top 95 percentile probably.
yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah, for like MTT players. I think for cash players you'd be like way, way, way far behind.
yeah, or if or like heads up, I'm just not even close. But
Yeah, everyone but MTTers works hard. And just because MTTs are stupid is why.
yeah.
I don't know, like they're just so hard to study effectively, and but if you could figure it out, it's really good. But figuring it out's hard. That's what I noticed.
Yeah,
It's
there's
really
just a lot more factors.
yeah, and it's just most of the time when you're studying, it's just you can't tell the effects if it works. You don't know if it's really working, and the spot doesn't necessarily come up, or you don't even know if
Yeah,
you're learning anything and what you learn is right, and it's just fucking hard. Anyways,
yep.
we have some hands. Enough complaining. I don't know if we're complaining. Anyways, this is not what I want to look at. Fuck. Alright, that's chess. Anyways,
You're you're such a chess nerd.
I know I'm super geek. I'm terrible at it though. Getting better without any study. It's fun. Anyways, you rip here. What you got thoughts?
I didn't want to raise fold to the bigger stacks in the blinds. If I raise them, raise calling button, but I didn't want to have to raise fold to big blind or small blind. Um, also, definitely didn't want to raise call. So I just decided to pile it in. I guess that's my initial thoughts.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, those things make sense. Can we take in more? Take in more like information, like, or perhaps try play devil's advocate. Try and argue against yourself.
Well, now that I see that big blind is a 9-6, well, see, it's kind of interesting because the two blinds have such different stats. Like small blind looks very active, big blind looks like a huge nit. Um, so I mean, I guess potentially I could raise call small blind, raise fold to big blind. But I still don't really love raise calling there, even if he is wide with his three bets.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about small blind. I would almost rather just shove and take the rejam option away from him.
Yep.
Still, so yeah,
All right. So you bring up a good point. So you bring up a good logical point. Race folding to them sucks, right? Uh,
yes,
the next step is figuring out the frequency with which that happens. So it's not enough to make
okay,
a good point. It has to you have to figure out the frequency with which something happens.
yeah, okay.
So,
I mean,
as like an
probably,
example, like I could say I don't want to jam here because I don't want to get it all in four ways with ace nine because my equity is really shitty. And like my point's perfectly
yeah,
logical, but the probability of that happening is less than 1%. So
yeah,
it becomes irrelevant. So anyways, go
yeah,
ahead.
sure, yeah. That makes sense. I think that getting three bet when we raise is a lot more likely than that. It's probably not super likely that we get three bet jammed on or three bet at all.
Hmm.
but it's like it's not that infrequent that it's going to happen. I don't
Yeah.
really know dynamic how active I had been. 20 it says 26 18 10, but I don't really know, in this tournament at this table how often I've been opening. So game flow dynamics, I don't know what's going on really with that. Don't really remember.
Hmm.
But in a vacuum, I think that I'm gonna probably get three bet like I don't know, 20% of the time or something.
Yeah.
15, 20.
Yeah, maybe like if this guy's really wide, maybe something like this.
But that's just I'm having a brain fart right now. How would we figure out how often we get three bet by any of them? So like if that one guy three bets like 10% or 15%, like
Hmm.
let's just say all three. Let's say if all three of these guys have a 10% three bet, if I open here, how do we calculate from that how often I'll get three bet by at least one of them? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So
I
say they
forget.
have all 10% three bet. If the question is hard, just flip the question. How do you figure out how often you don't get three bet?
Well, if they fold 90%, we just do 90 times 90 times 90%,
Yep. So
and
it's
that's how
like,
often they all fold.
yep, exactly. So 90 times point 0.9. I did this wrong, but 72.9. So yeah, I mean, the question was difficult, and then you just flip it and it becomes super easy, right? Makes sense.
Uh, yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah.
I don't know why that works. I don't know why the first question is so hard, but the second one is so easy. But it works for some reason.
Oh, the first one with the 10% thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I know. I mean, I know you can calculate it. I just don't remember the way to do it. I don't think it's that hard. I think it's just like a different calculation. But anyway, that works.
Yeah. So, okay, so yeah, how often do you think you get, how often does the thing you're worried about actually happen?
27% of the time.
Yeah. But we don't care if
But
this guy jams, really?
yeah,
Yeah. So it would be more like 19% or something.
yeah. I mean, I would rather have him fold than get it in with him. I would like because he's gonna have a tight range when he three bets. I'm talking about the 10 big blind guy, 11 or the guy on the button.
Yeah.
Um, like we don't. I'm still getting it in if I get three bet by him, but I don't love it. I would rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather take down the blinds and annies, but
Okay, so probability you get jammed on is like 20% or something. So it's something to worry about, but it doesn't happen like super crazy often. So
yeah.
the next thing we should do is because it's so easy to analyze like the EV of jamming, like let's just run this in ISOmizer really quick. Let's check out the EV of shoving.
Okay.
And I'm gonna paste this over to you because my ISOmizer is being a dick.
All right. I'm on my um, Mac, so I don't have it on here, but I can pull. I should be able to pull it up on a
Your,
web browser or something here.
yeah, your
Either
browser.
that or either that or I can just use. I think I have Hold'em resources on here too. Can run it in that.
Yeah, if you just want to see your profit, yeah.
Oh shit, that's weird. I just opened Hold'em resources and Skype just disappeared when I opened it. Okay, it's back. All right, I'm gonna do it in Hold'em resources. So what were stacks for? What were the stacks we needed to know about?
So we have 30K, button 12 bigs, small blind 21 bigs, big blind 25 bigs.
Can you? Big blind was 25, and how much was small blind again?
21.
21. Okay. Okay, and all right. Nash is ace nine off plus all pairs, ace seven suited plus ace five. Oh no, ace five suited plus.
So how much money do you make shoving ace nine off?
Well, Nash, it says it makes point 0.2, which I guess is point 0.2 big blinds.
Yeah.
But that's not correct because we didn't. I mean, that it doesn't have any calling ranges set up. It just has Nash calling ranges.
Yeah.
But that's probably not that far off.
Yeah, so maybe it's like around, it's between like 0.2 and half a big blind.
Yeah, like let me just. I can quickly edit these ranges a little bit to adjust for these guys being probably a little tighter than Nash calling ranges.
Yeah.
Small blind was the really nitty one, right?
Big blind was.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Change that then.
Shit.
Okay. That's better for us because he has more chips.
Indeed.
Um, okay. No one should be tighter than this. Okay, just running it again real quick. Did you watch that thing I sent you on Netflix?
No, I watched that documentary. I think it was like Maiden Voyage or something like that. The chick, she's 14. She sails around the world all by herself.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
never heard of that.
it's insane. It's a little bit boring, but visually it's just an amazing movie, amazing documentary, and just a really cool kind of story. So definitely
Yeah,
recommend.
yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah,
Let me get
the
to
one,
action. Go ahead.
the one I sent you. There's only two characters in it, and the one that there's like a little girl and an older woman, like a woman in her like 30s or 40s, and it's animated, but the little girl is played by the older woman's niece, like the actress's niece, and it's all of her dialogue is just taken out from clips like that she was recorded while she was like drawing pictures and playing and stuff, and then they just edit it into the movie to make all of her dialogue.
Huh.
It's pretty cool.
I think I heard about it from Tim Ferriss. Did he recommend it as like one of his favorite docs or something?
Really?
He might have. He recommends a bunch of documentaries that he thinks are his favorite and that are on Vimeo or something. I think that was it,
That's cool.
but I'm not sure. Anyways, that's the trailer for that. You could check that out.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out.
So anyways, how many fucking big blinds you make?
0.35 with when I adjust the ranges a little bit.
All right, so the real question is like, it really like doesn't fucking matter that you don't want to raise fold to a
Yeah.
21 big blind shove. What really matters is what makes you the most money, what makes you the most dollar EV, basically. You know, what is the most profitable ICM play? And yeah, I mean that just really doesn't matter. Like obviously that sucks, but it doesn't mean that doesn't prove that that's not the best. That raising isn't the best play.
Yeah. I could try to compare it to raising.
Do you think you can? Do you want to?
I kind of do.
Okay.
I think I could do it pretty. I think I could do it pretty quickly.
All right, and let's say we realize like 100% equity post flop versus the big blind when he defends because he sucks.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's going to assume that anyway, or it just checks down. We just check down when we get post flop. I think
Okay.
it's like
I mean, there are situations where you realize over 100% equity. Like, if we get to the flop with
yeah,
aces in position, we realize, more than our equity, I think.
yeah.
We
I
don't
think
just win
that makes
80% of
sense.
the pot.
So the tricky thing about trying to simulate this is, do we want to allow when I open? Do we want to allow them to flat, or do we want to force them to three bet or fold for the sim?
I'm going to leave that to you. It's as complex as you want to make it.
What's that?
I'm going to leave that to you. You can make it as complex as you want to. And let's share your screen so you don't bore the fuck out of everyone watching this. And
Okay.
it's more interesting for me,
Yeah.
too. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck
So you have
about
to
that.
stop. You have to.
Yeah, I
You
don't
have to
have to
stop sharing
stop.
yours first.
I actually don't have to.
Oh, you don't?
Nope.
Okay.
Watch this.
That's a groovy.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Oh, it automatically stops yours.
Yeah, cool algorithm, eh?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna not allow flat because it'll take the whole video, I think.
Okay.
Although I don't know. I'm always going back and forth between this when I do three bet calcs in here because allowing flats takes forever and it's like kind of tricky to balance all the ranges.
Yeah.
But it's more accurate. But the problem with allowing flats is you don't do any post flop stuff. So as soon as someone flats, you just check down post flop and both realize your equity.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not really that useful, I don't think.
It's good if you can. Alright, so what's it say?
Okay, I need to set this up first. What's button gonna jam? He's not gonna jam all this. Uh,
Um,
Something like this. Um,
I have a question that you can't answer, but I think is interesting. So, what do you think Ace Nine off? How much do you think you have to make with Ace Nine offsuit for it to be uh, better? How much do you have to make with Ace Nine offsuit raising for you to prefer it over jamming?
um, hmm. I think that I would have to make more than jamming.
Why?
Just because it's simple, like just whichever one's more profitable, I would rather do that one. I know that when I jam, I well actually in this spot when I jam, I don't have any bust out chance because I have everyone covered. Although it does really cripple me if I do lose.
Yeah, like the way I might butcher this. I don't know a lot about investing. So, like professional investors or hedge fund managers or whatever, they don't just calculate ROI, how much they make. They also calculate the risk they are taking when they do so.
Yeah, yeah,
So, say for example, they both make 0.35, but you actually never bust this tournament. If they both make the same amount, then your risk is going to be way lower when you just min raise than when you jam. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Like maybe if min raising makes like 0.3 or like 0.28 or something, maybe it's better to do that, even though jamming's slightly more profitable.
Well, it
Something
depends.
like
So,
that.
like, it's 501k, so I imagine you're either close to the money or you just moneyed. Like,
Right. Yeah. It depends on the spot. Like if it's bubble, if it's right on the bubble or something. See, again, that becomes a tough question too because if it's right on a bubble, then you want to preserve your stack, but also you want to put pressure on everyone else because they have to be tight there as well.
Didn't when we ran these bubble spots, it kind of just was equilibrium, you know? Like, I don't remember.
Bubbles, no, the bubble spot was a huge difference between ICM and chip EV.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a huge difference, right?
And then once you get in the money, it's pretty much chip EV from then on until the final table,
Yeah,
at least with Bovada's structure.
right. But we can say, like, let's not overcomplicate this, because I think, like, going into that just makes it super complicated. Like, overall, in general, you want, if a route, like, raising over jamming, you're willing to take a lesser EV in general, basically. Because now,
Yeah,
when you're talking about like them playing tighter, you're talking about changing the EV of jamming, right? I mean, that's all you're talking about in a nutshell. But
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
when you were talking about them playing tighter to jam because the bubble, you're just talking about the difference in the EV of jamming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, if the EV of jamming increases, then obviously jamming is more likely to be the best play.
But
Um,
wouldn't that affect their reshoving tendencies as well?
yeah, it should, right? Exactly.
It's
And then you're just talking about the EV of raising going up as well. So they both go up, kind of, you know.
yeah.
Um,
That thing you were just talking about how tournaments are hard to study.
yes, exactly. I mean, we're spending a lot of time on the sand, kind of running in circles. I mean, we're getting
Yeah.
somewhere, but slowly.
So somehow I can raise any two, which yeah, I don't believe that, but um,
Yeah, obviously,
I
because
think that
they can't call, so it's
I think it. Yeah, I don't know. See, it's just tricky to do these accurately, but
yeah.
it's because they can't call. Yeah.
So let's backtrack. So I asked the question if how much do you have to make raising for you to prefer it over jamming, right? And if you make 0.35 jamming, which we would be pretty certain about, how much do you think you have to make with raising?
I mean, I would just have to be guessing,
Hmm.
complete guess, but I mean, like 2.28, I would say
Yeah,
something
it
like.
would have to be less. And so
Yeah,
here's another question. If we're taking in other variables, if I assume this is like the softest fucking tournament on the internet, how does that factor in here?
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I'm sure it is. I'm sure you saw some of the ridiculous things that went on in this.
Yeah, it's just terrible hand after terrible hand.
Yeah, like yeah. So we should definitely pass on thin edges. Even, I mean, I think we should even if it's a spot where we might be at risk of busting out or even just severely crippling our stack. I think we should pass on some pretty big edges actually. Um, Big as in like bigger than we would pass on in most other tournaments.
Yeah, so,
Um,
so there's a weird thing, and Justin talks about this. So he says it's not just, I'm paraphrasing, it's not just big blind per 100. Because let's say we both have the same BB per 100 in a tournament. We
mhm.
both make 10 big
Yeah.
blinds per 100. But if I get dealt on average 150 hands per tournament, and you only get dealt 100 hands per tournament, I'm making an extra 5 big blinds per tournament.
Hmm.
So jamming, there's a good, like, I think raising considering they're both the same BV, would probably increase the amount of hands you get in this tournament, whereas jamming probably decreases it.
Yeah, and the thing is like raising could be higher EV than jamming. We don't really know.
Yeah, it's
I,
an unknown. Exactly.
there's two things. Is like one is that it's unknown. It could be more profitable. The other thing is that I'm very confident that it is profitable to raise. I don't think that it's going to be minus EV to raise fold.
Yeah.
Um,
There's almost no chance that a raise is unprofitable here.
yeah,
And yeah, so there's no chance the raise is unprofitable. Your profit with jamming isn't that high, especially when you factor in like dollar EV. So the odds of raising being better in a tournament like this, I think, is pretty high. Although
Yeah,
I think there's some probability that it's lower.
yeah. I feel like I have these strategies stuck in my head that are just like static. Like I have these ranges that I'm like, okay, ace nine's too weak to raise call, but I don't want to raise fold, so I just jam. And then like ace ten or something, I would raise call mostly, and then like maybe like ace four or worse or something, I would raise fold there.
Yeah, so
Um,
the logical era was not like that starting logic. Like I don't want to raise fold. Like it should all
yeah,
just be what makes the most money.
yeah,
The the second step, I think, might just be a lack of knowledge, or maybe you did know, was that it's not going to show a huge profit by jamming. Like you're not making much.
no, I knew. I mean, I knew it was pretty thin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe it was just that first step, like not like understanding comparing the options. Then maybe step the second problem was not realizing that you take a much lower EV raise or a lower EV raise here to lower variance. Like if raising was lower EV, slightly lower EV, you would still take it here. Chip EV.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I think when playing these tournaments, lowering variance without playing nitty and tight is pretty important.
yeah. I think that I don't think being nitty is too much of a problem for me. I think I need to adjust the other way. Like
Yeah.
I think in general I'm too active. So
Yeah, so yeah, I actually think that raising probably shows more of a profit here. Just in position with ace nine versus a big blind defend, or he folds too much. I mean, I don't know. I think it shows more of a profit.
sure,
And I think
I would agree. I think that makes sense.
um, so this one's a bit different. What do you think of this one?
I need you to share your screen again.
I do this every session.
I think you're like 90%.
Yeah. So you do the same thing here. So tell me what do you think about this one?
Okay. I can't see it. It's all blurry. Okay, I can see it now. I just jam here.
Yeah.
Um, very similar spot. Again, I think that there's sort of a lot of the same concepts from the last time we talked about.
Let's
Um,
start from the start, like the easiest part. Let's start with how much do you make jamming?
Probably, hang on. Probably around like probably close to a big blind, three quarters of a big blind, something like that.
Yeah. So you make quite a lot more shoving here.
Yeah,
That's the difference. So yeah, we can start from there. It's a good starting point.
yeah. Okay. Um, we make more money jamming. I think that we block less reshove hands, although I don't really know. I could be wrong about that. Um, I just think people tend to reshove a lot of ace X.
Mm-hmm.
So with an ace blocker, I think we block more of that than with a king and a jack, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, but I also think we're probably doing better against, like if we raise call, we're probably doing better against their shoving ranges.
Mm-hmm.
Like if button being the shorter one,
Mm-hmm.
if we raise call them, we're probably doing better against their get in range than we would be with ace nine off.
Yep.
So that's one reason that raise calling them would be reasonable. Um, let's see. 11, 5, 29, 22. Is this the same players?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I mean, we could again do the same sort of raise call two of them, raise fold to big blind. but I don't hate jamming.
Yeah, so it's interesting because King Jack suited makes more money opening too, and more money jamming at the same time because it just plays better post.
Okay,
Like I think you'd
interesting.
rather have King Jack suited versus the big blind than Ace Nine off in position.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Although it's pretty damn
Yep.
close because you might get the showdown pretty often. Um,
Yeah, and
so
stack with stack size, it's yeah.
so yeah, which one do you think is a better jam? This one or the Ace Nine?
I think this one is a better jam just because it makes a lot more money,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it probably doesn't make that much more as a raise.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah,
I think I would agree with you. You make flushes versus Ace King.
Blank.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so what do you think about betting this flop?
I opened big blind defended,
Yeah.
checks to me. Yeah, I think we should definitely be betting this flop for sure.
Why?
All day. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's a dry board. Big blind has what I would perceive to be a pretty wide range. He probably has air a lot of the time on this board. We have two overs and a backdoor flush draw, so we have a lot of equity. But right now we only have king high, so combination sort of like I just think I think he's going to fold a lot to a c bet,
Mm-hmm.
and also I don't mind if he calls because we have a lot of backdoor equity.
Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good spot to just bet and barrel. I felt
Do I
like,
not bet here?
yeah, you checked.
Huh, okay.
And yeah, he check min raises you, you call, you brick river.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. Weird.
Sorry. I assume you're sitting out here? You just fold ace jack?
Yeah, that must have been a sit out. Yeah, or yeah, had to be.
Okay.
That's weird. I didn't think I sat out at all in this session. That's kind of surprising to me.
Saved you money. So well played. Well timed set up.
I actually just hacked Merge's servers and I can see whole cards, so I folded.
Believe it. Just like genius with the fucking computers, kid. Uh, what do you think we should do here? Call or fold?
Uh, what happened here? Can we go back to? Can we rewind a
Limp,
little bit?
limp.
Oh,
He
limp.
leaps.
Okay.
He jams.
Well, first of all, I think we should raise pre when that guy limps. Oh, he has a bunch of chips. Never mind. I thought he had like a really small stack, but still, I still think we should raise. Is it 2K, 4K? We should just jam pre.
Yeah, you could jam pre. Seems reasonable.
And then, so what we check. This guy bets. This guy calls. Oh, he shoves. I mean, I think reshove is pretty good. Uh, just check shove the swap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like calling, but I think check shove is calling is not bad actually.
Ever fold?
Um, huh?
Do you ever fold?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I don't. I don't think folding is totally insane, but I don't like it. Um,
Why do you think it's close? So you think the spot's close? Why? What do you think their
I
ranges
think
look like?
um, well when the big I'll start with big blind when he just jams after defending and he's off an extremely short stack, any pair, any draw, even under pairs, which I would expect I would expect those pocket pairs to shove pre though
Mhm.
mostly, but I guess you still could have some.
So any
But
six,
it's
any eight, any 10, any
yep,
open ender, any
yeah,
flush draw.
yeah, even any like two overcards with one spade,
Yeah.
stuff like that too.
Okay.
And then the guy who limped and now is just flatting. Kind of confused about his range here. Uh, I think he could be strong here. He could have like Jacks plus if and just be like limping as a trap. He could also have flush draws. He could have nine Jack. He could have I don't know. Actually, I would expect that to maybe lean towards raising, but I'll put it in his range. So he could have flush draws, nine Jack, Jacks plus. He could have a 10. Could have an 8. I think that's about it.
Yeah. And you think it's pretty close versus those ranges?
For what do you mean pretty close? Like as a call or?
Yeah, as a call.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of that stuff has pretty good equity versus us.
All right, so let's start with this guy. So we're gonna give him every 8. So it's where the fuck's the 8s? 8, 7, 6. Let me get slice out. This program sucks.
Yeah, this it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how they make such a bad one. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I hate this bouncing thing. I get so anxious waiting for it to stop. Alright, we're gonna try and do this to like as quickly and as close to accurate as possible, which means I'm gonna fuck up some things. Alright, so let's not try and get it perfect because it'll take forever. Alright, so every 8.
Oh wait, that's wrong.
What?
Just kidding.
Oh, fuck you. Alright, 10, 8, Jack 8, every 8. Every
All the
8.
8s.
All them 8s. And,
That's pretty.
yeah, looks nice, huh?
That's a cool range to have.
All the 10s. The 10s. 9 7s. Help me out with hands here. All the 6s, right?
Yeah, all 6s, all 10s, all spades. That's really tricky to put in there though. Just like all spade combos.
Yeah. Can we just leave out spades for the sake of it's not that many combos in like a super wide range, so it won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's tricky to do. I think it matters, but it's not. I don't think it's worth spending all the time on setting it up.
Yeah, we'll give him some of these, whatever. Okay, so that's about his range. It's not perfect, but bear with me. And this guy is going to be tricky to range.
Yeah.
I think he'd re-ISO some Jack-Jack on the flop pretty often. I don't know if we should give him all these combos. Whatever. But we'll run a few different sims, but I'll give him some 10s. Anything else you're thinking of? 9-9.
Sure. 9s. Jacks plus.
Yeah. Let me get.
Did you give him?
Let me give him some spades first. Ace 9. This one. This one. I'm gonna give him those for flush draws. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. Anything else?
Fine.
I'm gonna give him 9 7 suited. Jacks too. Okay.
10s. I would give him.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's give him ace 10 offsuit. So in this situation, your equity is 17.7.
Yeah. So wow, pretty bad. I thought it would be actually a little bit better than that, but.
Yeah, so, and if we add flush draws, maybe it gives you an extra 1 or 2%. Because, like, your equity versus them isn't great. It's like 50-50.
Hmm.
What if let's tweak the ranges a little bit. Like, let's say we discount these because there's some probability he limps and some probability he ISOs.
Okay. Yep. Wow. Still not that good.
Yeah, I'm
Surprised.
surprised.
Yeah, I thought we would have a lot better equity than that.
Yeah, I even took out all the pocket pairs.
That is kind of shocking. I mean, I thought we would have like 25% or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like a terrible fold. I mean,
You thought it was what?
I thought it was a terrible fold, but
Yeah, I did too. Like, I mean, like in game after I folded, I thought about it for a few hands. I was like, I wonder if I should have folded there.
yeah,
So I think that was a bad fold, but
yeah. If I took
it's
out,
actually not that bad.
yeah, I took out all of his big hands basically, and
Yeah,
it's just pretty damn close.
surprising. We should have just shoved free and just avoided this whole mess. But
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument for giving him more eights. I mean, I could if I did this and then this, say I did that.
I had a note on this guy too, but not yet. The guy that limped.
Yeah,
I had notes on him now about how wide he limps and how terrible he is, but in this hand, I didn't have those notes yet. I don't believe.
I mean, there's probably infinite different ranges we could run for him, like depending on like how picky you want to be with it. So,
Yeah,
but I think your equity ranges from maybe 15 to 25 or something. I don't think you ever have 30% equity.
yeah.
I mean, even if I gave him all the flush draws, it's not. If I did this, it's not great for you. This isn't
And the
gonna.
thing is about this, and the other thing about this spot is like it's really close, and if we just shove here, like we're risking our tournament life. And I wouldn't be surprised if this guy calls with the four deuce of spades because he's an idiot, and
That
puts us at risk
that would
for.
be really good for you, though. I think.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, this is like the highest I can get your equity. Like, it'd be really hard to get your equity to 30%. So your play ranges from like pretty bad to pretty good, or kind of good to kind of bad.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how close that was.
Yeah. I actually really thought this was going to be like a really bad fold, but
Yeah, so Ace
I
of
guess it's just
Spades,
only a marginally bad fold.
Ace of Spades makes it pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you should call with the Ace of Spades.
Yeah. Or continue somehow, like either shove or call, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, what did you have more hands on these guys? Why'd you decide to steal, or is this part of your default range, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it seemed like a good spot to try to steal. I thought that big blind was really tight. Maybe I had more hands, than you, but yeah, I don't know. I remember this spot because I tanked for a little bit and like was deciding between folding or trying to steal, and I just decided to go for it. And I wasn't sure if it was really the best spot, but
Um, yeah, you must have had more hands on them. This guy was playing really loose. This guy was playing 30-20.
oh wow.
So I wasn't sure if it was that good of a spot.
Yeah, maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe I was just getting impatient or something. I don't think I had played. I think that this was a hand where I hadn't opened in quite a while. Hadn't been able to do anything because
Yes.
my stack was like 180, and it just kind of dwindled down from folding.
Yeah.
So I guess I maybe just kind of forced it a little bit here.
Do you have a default range set up for this spot or saved?
Do I have what?
Like a default range? Because we worked on these spots like 12 bigs or something.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Is King
I
8
can
in
pull it
there?
up. I think it might Nah, I don't know. Let me pull it up.
That's a better idea.
I think it might be. It might be like one of my couple of raise fold combos, but let me just pull it up so I'm not guessing. Yeah, I gotta figure something out with my Gmail. I made a new account because I wanted like a more professional sounding email because I'm trying to get jobs.
Yeah.
But now I'm just constantly switching back and forth, so I have to keep logging out, and logging in like 10 times a day.
That sucks. Yahoo, the one thing Yahoo does better, it's they make it really easy to switch. Like it's just one click
Oh,
to
really?
switch for me.
Yeah. See, on my phone I can do that, but on my computer I have to
When you're done
do this
clicking
whole.
it. Sorry, go ahead. You could do that on your phone, not your computer, you said?
Yeah, I can switch really easy on my phone, but on my computer it's. I mean, um,
Yeah, that's the one thing Yahoo does better.
they have chess too.
What?
Yahoo has chess, right?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Um,
I only use Lichess.
I don't think I have cutoff in here in this spreadsheet.
Oh,
Do I?
okay.
I don't know. I'm having trouble. Oh wait, maybe I do. Weird. I don't see it. What's my stack size? About 12 bigs.
Yeah, 12.5ers.
So so yeah, I mean, so just to go by my button range from 12 bigs, I'm raise folding king 5 through king 7 off as a default from button. Um, so I mean, I guess logically, maybe I thought like moving one position over, I'm gonna have slightly stronger hands in my raise fold range, and since king 7 off is the best king I'm raise folding from the button, I guess I decided that king 8 off would make sense to be in my cutoff raise folding range, but I think it's very spot dependent. Uh,
Yeah, it's a very high variance spot actually because when you're right, it's really good because making 2.5 bigs is really nice for you. But when you're wrong, it's really bad and you lose a lot of your reshove equity. And
yeah,
like your chance of busting is actually quite a lot higher from 12 big blinds to 10.
oh
Yeah,
what?
like your chance of busting in a hand is actually much higher when
Oh,
your stack is 10 big blinds instead of 12.
see, actually, my when I opened here, part of my thought process was that I still have plenty of fold equity if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and maybe that's not true. But like you'll see later on in this tournament that I get a lot of jams through with like 7, 8 bigs, um,
Yeah,
which
I don't
maybe
mean
it's.
with jamming, I meant with rejamming. But
Oh, okay,
yeah, and it's not
yeah,
so much the fold equity as just your bust probability per hand is going to go up. Like,
yeah,
as you get lower and lower, it's like this exponential growth in your bust probability. Like, imagine the probability of busting on a hand when you have 9 bigs. Like, the next hand. Let's say this spot. The probability of busting this hand if you have if you are have 9 bigs. Then if you had 8 bigs. Then if you had 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, your probability of busting in any hand where you're only one big blind is super high. And that's
yeah,
obviously very bad for you in a tournament like this.
yes, sir.
So you have to be pretty confident to kind of take these spots. But yeah, I didn't have reads. I don't know what stats you have on Who Dat Nation.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Can we
I
see
mean
your
I can't.
stats
It's
on him?
hard to. I would have to go get my laptop
Okay.
um,
All right, let me know what your stats on him were later. Because,
later. Okay.
yeah, because stuff like race folding really kills you. It's so important at 12 bigs. Like, I think what separates good and great 12 big blind players or 15 to 10 big blind players. But it's super difficult to do well.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, I really think that this was just forced because of my my situation, which is not good.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Did Mark pick your screen name?
No, I've had this screen name for like, God, probably 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Like back a long time ago, I used to play cash on merge, like micro stakes, back when I was in college, and I made this screen name, and then I just hadn't used it until recently.
This King Six doesn't look like a jam.
Doesn't?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's not a bad jam. I can run it, um, or if you want to just look up a chart, you can do that too. I can
Uh, actually run it.
run it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me. So, what position am I there? Cutoff.
Yeah.
80,
Yeah.
83, 8.3.
Yeah, and everyone covers. And just say they cover by a little bit to not fuck up their ranges too much. Say they'll have
All
like
right.
150.
What was the big blind again? It's
10K.
10K.
Yep. 1K ante and 7 players at the table. So the Nash
So this is
here is King 8 offsuit plus.
yep. Yes, it is. Um, and the other thing here is this is probably final two tables or something. So there is some ICM. Well, actually, probably not really. I was going to say there's some ICM considerations, but not really, since we're
There's page.
probably.
Is there page odds between 18th, 15th, and 12th and all that?
Oh yeah. You're right. On merge, yeah, 15th is a pay jump and 12th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if this is 16 handed or something, then there is some ICM, but I think that means we should fold even more so.
Yes. So yeah,
Uh,
it's not a jam. It's not a Nash shove, but if you check it out with 7 players left and a smaller ante, it's even farther away from Nash. Like, what's the Nash in this spot? Did you run it?
oh, there's seven. Yeah. I ran it for a full table though, so let me fix that.
Yeah, run it for 7.
Uh, it's annoying in Hold'em Resources that if you have to change the number of players, you can only do it from one side. So in
Yeah,
other words, I can't. So that makes me have to retype all this stuff in. Okay, it's done.
fuckers.
Yeah, King 9 off plus.
Yeah, so instead of King 8 off, it's King 9 off, which is actually a pretty big difference. They're pretty far away in equity.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, if you were to, I think if you, when you ran this for 9-handed, it was King 8 plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty, so this is pretty far away from Nash, but there's some chance you knew this guy was a nit in the big blind because he was really nitty. Like, there's this hand where there's this hand afterwards where he
Oh
does,
God, I think
look,
yeah,
he folds to
I think
this, and this
wait,
is basically just a
yeah.
7 big blind reshove.
Yes. This guy, I think I did know that he was a nit because that's the hand where I think I told you about this, that ace eight hand. He opened cutoff. It was cutoff, right? That he opened,
Yeah,
and then he typed in chat. He typed all in chat while the big blind was tanking. And the big blind had like what, 6 bigs, 7 bigs.
yeah.
Um, so he opens to 2.5, and then or no, it's just a min raise, I guess. And then he types all in the chat. Big blind shoves, and then he folded the ace eight face up,
Oh, this is the
and
hand
it's
you
just
sent
like,
me. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like, what are you doing? And this guy earlier in the tournament, I'm pretty sure the same guy folded ace 10 off face up to me when I jammed on his big blind when I had like 10 bigs.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, there's some chance of that. There's a pretty good chance that that's what happened. Okay.
yeah, that matters quite a bit, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Versus if you have that read, then I think this is a great jam. but
I think I probably did have that read. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I did.
cool.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy that folded ace 10 face up to me.
Okay. Not sure exactly what we learned today.
Um, I learned a couple things. I learned that I need to I need to not jam 20 to 30 big blind stacks so often. I need to consider the spot more holistically instead of just being like, well, this is plus EV as a jam, so I jam.
Yeah. Yeah, I think looking at things in terms of comparing the options and thinking about not only the chip EV but the dollar EV and metagame, especially when playing on merge, is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I definitely need to consider that a lot more.
Yeah, so instead of saying like stuff like, "Oh, I don't want to race fold here to rejam or get 3-bet off my hand," or whatever, think about just comparing the EV of the two lines and the variance of both.
Hmm.
And then still you're still making a fucking guess, but this is a better guess.
Yeah, it's a more educated guess.
Um, I guess that's kind of all we really talked about. I mean, I guess we looked at this hand and looked at the difference in EV of jamming with 7 left versus 9 left, sort of. Uh,
Yeah.
this King 8 steal, I guess we talked again just about, um, so if folding makes you zero, like if we were to look at difference EV, if folding makes you zero and raising makes you a tenth of a big blind, like what's better? You know what I mean? And
You did you say a tenth of a blind?
yeah,
Hey, okay, yeah.
yeah, I don't
Like
know.
we
I
we
don't
would,
know if that's better. You know,
yeah, we might just rather just fold. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
because if your EV of raising is small, then you're gonna lose this hand a lot. You know,
Hmm. Yeah,
so it's an interesting question, especially given how many left in the tournament. Um,
yeah.
this hand was kind of interesting, but a bit of a waste because I don't know how this applies to any other hand, and you'll probably never face this spot again in your life. Um,
Well, I mean, I think one thing about this hand is like we didn't really run any analysis on jamming pre, but I think that's the play.
mhm.
I mean, I just really think that's the play there.
Yeah, for sure. It was interesting that our equity was off here. I mean, maybe we're off with equities in lots of other spots too. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the one that I was most surprised by, though.
Yeah, it's probably just a misclick. This was just whatever. You should have bet flop.
Yeah,
And yeah, these was those two jam hands. So we talked about ICM in kind of like a weird way. I mean, we didn't look at ICM, but we kind of talked like metagame and more of like in a logical way, I guess. Um, so yeah, sounds good. Like,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, I guess we'll call that a sessione.
All right, sounds good. Watch that video I sent you. It's awesome.
Which
It'll brighten up your day.
the world of tomorrow?
What's that?
The world of tomorrow?
World of Tomorrow. Yeah, on Netflix.
You did not send it to me. Did you link it to
If
me?
possible. I sent it to you in Skype, didn't I?
I don't think you linked it.
No, I did. I just told you the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm too lazy to link it.
you're a good man. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good day.